guys, it's Steven from Tortilla, and today we're going to make some absolutely delicious homemade beef nachos. We're going to serve them individually on the plate so each bite is absolutely perfect. Cameron and Courtney, ready to start cooking? Starting out with some white corn tortillas. Frying at home could be a bit of a fire hazard, so I like to use a nice tall pot with just a shallow amount of oil and use canola oil to fry up these chips. You want the oil at about 350 degrees, and you don't want to overcrowd the pot. You have to do a little bit at a time. Have your tongs ready because these will fry up pretty quickly. And once the chips are out, give them a light salting. Both sides, of course. Alright, time for the beef. To conserve a little, I'm going to use some of the oil left over from the chips and just put a nice shallow coating of that on the bottom of a non-stick pan. Alright, here's the next fun part. We're going to add 3/4 of a bottle of beer. I like to use dark Mexican beer. This Modelo Negro works great. If you find something similar, that would also be fantastic. Turn the heat up just a little bit so the beer reduces quickly, and then we want to add the meat next. But first, we're going to add a little salt, mainly because it makes the beer dance and it looks really cool. Likewise, I'm going to add just a little bit of black pepper. It doesn't do the fun sizzling like the salt. Also, don't overdo it with the salt and pepper because we're going to add some spices to this, and we could also always add more salt and pepper towards the end to taste. With the beer nicely reduced to about half, I'm going to go ahead and lower the heat to medium and start adding in our beef. Give that a nice stir. Now you see the meat starting to get brown from the spices. It's really starting to look like taco beef, and that's because we're done. Well, of course, I'm going to let it cook a little bit more so the meat's nicely cooked. I'm going to put it to a medium low so it simmers and cooks well and absorbs all those spices. I'm going to add some fresh slices of jalapeno to the nachos. If you don't want it too spicy, make sure to remove the seeds. Now we're going to make a very simple topping for the nachos. This is going to go on after it's already out of the oven. I got some more finely chopped red onion, and then I'm going to use about equal parts, just eyeballing it, of fresh cilantro. A lime. I squeeze about half of that juice in there. We're making nachos, so you're probably wondering where the heck the cheese is. We're ready to shred some up. We got sharp cheddar cheese and Monterey Jack cheese. Just eyeballing it, don't overthink it. Just use about a 50-50 blend of the two cheeses. Now it may seem a little crazy to individually load up these nachos, but we want each bite to be absolutely perfect. That's also why we made the chips larger than regular sized chips. This way it has a lot of surface area and can hold a lot. So with the taco beef, I like to take it out of the pan with a slotted spoon so we don't get too much of the juice. Now the juice is really tasty, but it's going to make the nachos really soggy if we get it on there. So we don't want that. And then I'm using a fork after that stage so we get even less of the meat. Obviously a spoon's a little easier to work with, but again, we don't want to drench these in oil and grease, and then they're just going to be very soggy and not crispy, delicious nachos. Alright, we're ready to throw these bad boys into the oven at 350. Just keep an eye on them. Once the cheese is nice and melted, they're good to go. The meat and chips are already cooked. So let's go ahead and toss them in. Since we went through the trouble of loading them up individually, I'm going to plate them nicely on this rectangular dish. Going up close with these beautiful one-chip homemade beef nachos. And the glob of sour cream is not that appetizing. We'll pan back this way. Alright, here we go. These are looking absolutely beautiful and delicious. But before we take a bite, if you enjoyed the video, please hit the thumbs up like button on YouTube. That would really help us out a lot. Also, if you subscribe to the channel, seriously, that would truly make my day. So please subscribe to the channel. Keep making more videos for you guys. Alright, here we go. I really want to shove the whole thing in my mouth, but since you got it to watch us, I'll just take a little bite here. Oh god. It may sound like I'm exaggerating, but these are seriously so delicious. I know that chips took a little bit of a while to make because we made them ourselves, but so worth it, so delicious. Please make it at home. Write in the comments how yours came out. Please stay safe, everybody, and keep cooking. See you soon.